Previously on Fallout New Vegas.
Ooh, oh yeah, baby. Feels good to be online again.
Oh, God, look at you. You're filthy.
Library Processing Unit 232.7 is online and ready to eradicate sedition.
Tremble, world, before my electric heating coil of doom!
Oh, my. Partial functionality restored. That's less than optimal.
Damn, it's good to be back online.
That was a nice little cat nap. How long was I out?
Do you know how many coffee cups giant robot brains in jars use on a daily basis? Not fucking many!
Time to hunt down this bulimic bitch.
Papinio. I am Boner, the Skeleman. That's with 2 L's.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am PhoenixJape, and I approve of this badassery.
By the by, if you guys notice frame drops,
Madame Zelda once told me that I'd travel to New Vegas and meet the love of my life there. Interesting, huh?
no. If you guys notice any frame rate drops in this series, it's not my computer being shitty. My computer's fine. It's running this game at like 60 frames, easy. But my Sony Vegas render settings it's causing frame drops. Sony Vegas is causing frame drops, and I don't know why. I don't even know where I'm walking right now. And it doesn't seem to... I can't really help it unless I change my render settings, which I can't do because then my video files get too large, and then I have to... and it takes forever to upload because my internet still balls. My internet sucks dick. So sorry, I can't be helped until I get better internet. Anywho, so it turns out my brain is already in my skull. So the question now is whether or not we should just end Old World Blues. Alright, Niner, what do you think? Should we end Old World Blues?
Okay.
Well, you heard the man. Maybe before we do that, we should see if Dr. Boros is willing to talk. I don't know if he'll let us do that. Hey, Boros.
Klein awaits, as do we all.
Hey, is this Gabe's bowl? Your dog from X8, Gabe?
What? Why, yes, it is. I used to leave it outside his doghouse, chock full of chems, before the cybernetic modifications, of course. And no matter how chemmed the food, he would always eat it, and his tail would wag, even while you know, I'm having the most perplexing feeling squiggling through my biogel. I can't quite pin it down.
Maybe it's like a memory or something.
Oh, well, it is of no consequence. Gabe gave himself for science, as we all have.
Yay. I don't know what to do. Hey, there we go. Light step. Don't set off traps anymore. Perfect.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. And now you and I are gonna settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain.
Yeah.
Hand it over,
No.
or we'll extract it again.
Try it, bitch. I'm not handing it over. And there's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Mobius and I talked it over. We reached an understanding.
You are lying. No, you are not. Your heartbeat, perspiration, all excessively confident and sure of yourself. Why would you reason with that maniac? He'll destroy us all! Yes, you can. You don't really have an alternative that I can see.
Dr. Klein, I must intercept. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dalla?
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism, breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study. Slow study.
Dalla, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Klein, are you sure we've calculated all the combat probabilities here? I mean, the lobotomite confronted Mobius. Plus, you know, we haven't had a COMBAT drill in forever. I don't think we could form a tactical attack triangle if we wanted to.
Releasing the WOMBAT was not my plan, so get off my voice box.
Silencing opinionators.
Why am I even listening to you fools? The determinators are greater than the hesitators, so hesitators, be quiet. We are bigger, smarter, and floatier than you, lobotomites. We don't wish to fight you, so surrender your brain, now.
Well, I think you're past due for your lobotomy, Klein.
A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
This one looks pretty tough.
Oh no, what was this? Oh. Whoa.
I am so going to attack this target with my...
Hey, I could use a hand over here.
In the dome, from beyond.
That's all.
Guess I didn't need God mode after all. I almost feel guilty. Almost feel guilty. Although, to be fair, you guys are the ones that, you know, killed him. I didn't actually fire a single shot, you monsters. Should we go here? I guess.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal. saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the big empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other sink personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier made his way through the X-8 facility, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. They eventually created new cyberdogs to root out commie traitors from the wasteland. Traitors like Betsy Bright, Richie Marcus. Although they couldn't seem to find any commies, so they turned on themselves, howling sonic barks that echoed miles across the landscape.
The infiltration program in X-13 continued to scan for the subject and the stealth suit prototype long after the test was over. Frustrated and unable to find its lost technology, X-13 expanded its network of laser tripwires, sensors, and robo-brains out across Big Mountain. This glittering blue light-beam forest cleanly bisected anything that entered its depths, slicing them into small segmented parts for easy disposal.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with the lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Oh no. Hey, I'm big-brained. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you're only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%. Yay! Yay!
Football's connected to the leg bone. Leg bone's connected to the purple hand.
We gotta get out of here, guys. Back to the Mojave. Well, that was just a blast, wasn't it, guys? I swear.
I can't resist.
I'm serious. It's.
Gumdrops.
Stop.
Or junk food.
No. Willow.
Ooh,
Willow. Willow.
Phew, it's hot.
Just don't. Please.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Ah, jeez. Okay, we should continue working for the NCR. You're dressed for the occasion. I'm not. Let's just go.